And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Satisfactory. Alright, as you can see, I have been deconstructing like a madman. The entire nuclear process setup down there is torn up, as well as much of the crafting processes that we had up here. So yeah, massive amount of deconstruction going on. Some of this stuff I kept, but like high-speed connectors, we don't need those. We didn't need the reactor control rod thingies, so all of those went bye-bye. The giant setup for quick wire also is gone. Much of those excess components I've actually I went through and put them in the grinder, so they're getting me coupons, because there's one suggestion as far as a goal in the series is to buy all the stuff, buy all the trophies from the awesome shop, and that, while sounding excellent, is not an easy thing to do, because like the golden nut trophy alone is like 1,000 tickets, and that's expensive. And I just realized I want to keep that connection there. Alright, so I've done a bunch more math. I did it off camera. I did it once on camera, and you guys tolerated it, and I didn't want to subject you to any more homework. So I did a bunch of math. Let me get my notes. So the big element, the big item that we are going to consume for these arc reactors is actually heavy frames. These things. Because the let me get my notes out. The reactor casings, so we need 5 cores a minute. The reactor casings are going to require about 6. I mean, it's going to be 5. Let's just keep it at that, but I like round numbers. So the reactor casings alone are going to be 6 per minute. I can gently overclock, literally like 7% overclock this to get to 6 per minute. It kind of makes all of these values a little wonky, but that's fine. As long as we're overproducing one of those, I'm fine with that. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is produce enough fuel and coolant for 4 of these. Because right now we have a capacity of 20 gigawatts, roughly. Okay, we have a rough capacity of 20 gigawatts. I want to be able to make sure that we can continue that once all of the nuclear fuel runs out. So if we go over here and we look, there's the chest right there with the nuclear fuel that we have already crafted. Once that runs out, all of these will be basically non-functional. Yeah, they won't be doing anything anymore. So we got to make sure that we have enough power generation in order to make up for that loss. So that means I want 4 reactor setups, and if we go over to really, I can't. You know what, we're just gonna eat some berries. All right, so I just repurposed these to produce the refined fluid, the refined element 65. And as you know, as you can tell, there's no more radiation over here. So what I did to get rid of the radiation, because I needed, I need some flexibility in jumping up on pipes and such and whatnot. I took all of the uranium out of here and I put it in the crates way over there. See those 2 crates? That's where the uranium is now, and the train is shut down. So what I'm going to do is just repurpose this belt. I'm going to bring that E65 from this train station down into here. And into here is where I can process it. Now, I could completely redo all of these too. Because the step after this one is the one that uses the uranium. And it uses quite a lot of uranium. 150 per minute each. So that's going to be a lot of uranium. I'm tempted to put another station on here and have 3 cargo wagons coming in. There is a mod that adds a train wagon that has more capacity. I could do that too. I'll have to look and see if that's, finalized, if it's stable, what possible conflicts would I have on that. So the only output from these is going to be that element 65, and this is going to put out 15 a minute, so for a total of 60 per minute. Well, these are going to go into a set of more refineries, and so I need to figure out, I had plans to do it over there. I could bring all of this stuff and put it into a tank and process it over there, because that would bring, that would take my uranium and just keep it over here. But I would need 8. I have 4 of these. I would need 8 refineries to do it over here. That is an enormous amount of space, like enormous. You just don't understand how much space that is. It is crazy. So yeah, it's going to add up fast. It's going to add up really fast. One thing I could do also is bring it down there and process it down there, but I'm hesitant to do that down there just because these, oops, get back over here. These refineries don't clear this platform here, so it would be very restricting. What is, oh, so anyway, more math was done, and if I go over here, you can see where we are going to start working. So if we dial back the tasks and we say, okay, we need a whole bunch of power cores, 5 cores per minute per reactor. That's fine. We've got the refined E65. We got 4 of those. That's 4 reactors. Unfiltered deuterium, we've got, we're going to be putting down 8 of those. Unfiltered deuterium, here it is. So obviously these are 7.5 E65. So 2 of these is going to be to 15, and that's where I get 150 uranium per minute for each of those setups. Okay, so that is a total of 600 uranium a minute. That's a lot. That's a lot. And then going even further, liquid deuterium, this will be easy. This will be so dead easy, I'm not even worried about it. Not a problem. And then the advanced cores, this is where we get the 1 per minute of reactor casing. Okay, so 1 per minute, 1 per minute. Remember, the fusion reactor, the arc reactor, needs 5 per minute of fuel. Huge difference in fuel costs between this and nuclear. I really want to poke the mod author and see if I can't get him to lower that a little bit, because it's crazy. Anyway, so 1 per minute of reactor casing. So we need 5 of these per reactor. That's a lot. And so the reactor, that was a test. Is it over here? Advanced reactor casing. So this step is what I'm worried about, because it is a huge amount of products per minute in order to maintain one reactor, not to mention 4 reactors. So the math that I got on that, the 48 quartz crystal for 2 per minute of these. Remember, the reactor needs 5 per minute. So we need 3 of these setups to maintain that. Okay, that means that's 144 quartz per minute. And I've already gone through where the quartz is being processed, and I have a huge, huge area ready to process that quartz. So 4 of these is 144 times 4, which is a lot. As long as it's under 1 Mark 6 belt, I'm happy. The modular frames, this is where we start getting exponential curves here. Modular frames, I had to work out. Okay, the heavy frames. Oh, this gets crazy. So we need basically 6 per minute of these. Okay, 6 per minute. It's enough, and that's why I did a test over here, to overclock it by 7%. 6 per minute. That's 16 modular frames a minute, 20 encased beams, 72 pipe per minute, and 44 concrete, plus a little fraction on the end of that. Now remember, multiply this by 4. So we're looking at 64 modular frames per minute. We're looking at 80 encased beams per minute. 292 steel pipe per minute, and 176 concrete. Concrete is easy. I can do that, no problem. The pipe, we are right now able to make about 900 a minute of pipe. Just about. It's roughly 900 a minute. Not exact. So 292 pipe per minute plus the encased. Well, the encased also use pipe. So we need 80 encased a minute. And if we go over here, and if we look at encased beams that use the pipe, because that's what we want, it's the more efficient recipe. Okay. We need 80 of these a minute. That's 10 crafters. So that's 560 steel pipe per minute. And 400 more concrete per minute. So we have a total consumption of pipe of 852 pipe per minute. It's just under what we are producing right over here. It's just under it. So, brutal steps. Now, the modular frames are another item of contention. Modular frames per minute. Each of those, so we need 16 per minute, 16 per minute modular frames. If we look at this and we go to modular frames, bolted frames, this is producing 10. We need 16. So at least 2 of these goes into one of those. I'm using round numbers, nothing is exact. So 2 of these, that's 30 reinforced iron plate per minute. Well, that just happens to come out because this gives us 30 per minute. So we need 4 of these setups, which means we need 8 of these setups. Okay. 8 of these, which means that is going to be 4 of the 30 per minute, right? Which means we need something like... No, that's the wrong one. This is 30. So we need 4 of these. Because this 30 goes down into this one, 2 of these, which then feed 1 of these. So 4 of my plate setups. 4 of them. I don't know if I have enough iron to go around, but we will see if we can. That's what this giant platform is for. Hopefully, I am able to finagle this. So constructor, let's just get this started. One here. Let's do logistics, not a merger, splitter. Try to be relatively compact. 2, 3, 4, 5. Two, 3, 4. This last one I can actually get away with a half, because this side is going to be iron plate. So that's 40, 80, 160, and then 180, which is exactly how many plate we need for that setup. Over here, we're going to do casted screws. We don't have the steel to make beams, which make steel screws. We just don't have that process. We just have no spare steel. And this turns out really well because this is 500 screws, and that's exactly how many screws we needed. All right, so, and then the final step is the assembler. Like that. If I could blueprint this setup, oh man, that would be so nice. So if we do a merger, there, I want to make sure that we have okay, so I can go out a little bit more. This is only 180 a minute. I don't need to get too crazy with my belt here. Over here I do is this. If we set this recipe to bolted iron plate, you can see 500 screws a minute. We definitely are going to need a Mark V for this. If I could, oh. There we go. A lot of the other work here is a little bit more tedious, but that works out rather well. Remember, I need 4 of these setups. So I might have to go up and over and match it up with one over here. Merger. Let's go this way with it. And then reverse order that whole process. And see if we can't do a splitter. Let's say there. And then constructor. There. And there. That looks pretty good. Merger. Those should line up. Yeah, they do. Like that. Okay. And let's see. This side, that was the screw side. So let's keep that. In in there. And this was the plate side. Get that in there. You are going to be bolted iron plate. You are going to be the plate. And you are going to be the casted screws. Okay. So now I need another system just like this. This is going to use so many materials. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. It's the 50. It's the 50 cable per machine that really kills. Okay, so this is plate, 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 and then forgot to set up regular constructor, plate. That'll be that, and then casted screw. And the splitter. No. Mr. Splitter. I don't know why they can't copy the orientation of the block as well as the block itself. That because it's a closed system, you don't need mergers all the way to the end. You can merge both of them in at once. Nope. After I just said it. All right, so there's the basics of 2 of these. Now I need 2 more. And I think one of these, if we look at the reinforced plate, okay, we look at how many ingots are being consumed from each one of these setups. So there is 60. So that's 60, that's 120, that's 240. Plus 30, 40, 50, 70. 270 for plate. This, I think, is 25. So that's 50. That's 125 for the screw side. So we have 270 ingots being used there, 125 ingots being used there. That is 395 ingots, just shy of 400. And so 400, 800, okay, 400, 800, and then 1200, and then 1600. So 1600 ingots a minute is what this system alone is going to consume. We have below us really an untapped amount of ingots. I have a whole system over there for iron ingots, and that's just one of the belts coming off of there. I could do a whole nother setup for smelting of iron ingots. Wouldn't be easy. It would be a lot of dropping of smelters. But we have plenty of capacity. I'm not worried about running out of materials. It's just, wow, is this a process and a half? Okay, so there's that one. Yeah. Oh, I didn't overshoot. Yay. Okay, so that is roughly right there. Okay, so that means this one goes here. And this one goes here. All right, so I'm going to do a lot of the busy work here in between episodes. I just wanted to show that this system, how this system was going to be set up. And also, one last little bit, logistically speaking, let's go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. See if 6 is enough to clear that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes! Ah! I was worried it wouldn't stretch all the way across, but that's beautiful. All right. Excellent. All right. I can't believe that worked. So happy. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.